Happy New Year and welcome back to the Girls Room. Thank you so much to the people that listened to episode 1. It meant the world to me and I hope this community can grow. This episode will be a year-end review. We're talking lessons learned, influencers, and iconic moments of 2023. I'm so excited to get into this episode because I feel like for me personally, 2023 was so transformative. I felt like that, honestly, every year since COVID, I've just been like this phoenix, as corny as that sounds, that is like, what do they say, like burning from the ashes, or you know what I'm saying? It's like this rebirth and this regrowth. I'm so happy that I filmed my first episode before the year ended because it was one of my goals and I got really good feedback, and I'm ready to continue growing this podcast, building a community of like-minded people who want to grow and also have a lot of fun on the way. Lessons I learned personally in 2023, there were too many to count, but I wrote down some that really kind of stood out to me. Jump and you will catch yourself. That's what I wrote for number 1. 2023 was the year I decided to bet on myself in so many ways. It was the year I said, okay, what are we doing to change our situation? Because what I won't do is sit there being a person that complains about their situation, that is always bitching and moaning about the position they're in, but never doing anything about it. Sometimes getting started and taking that leap, I get it, it's really hard, but I really only had 2 choices. I could continue staying uncomfortable, like wildly uncomfortable in the position that I was in. No financial stability. I wasn't happy physically, mentally, I just wasn't happy in any friggin' way, that every way that you could imagine being miserable, and I was miserable, and it was starting to really show. I needed to do something about it. So my 2 choices were stay uncomfortable, keep doing the same thing, which is the definition of insanity, or I could be uncomfortable by going after something completely new, completely different, something I was very much drawn to, and kind of go through those growing pains and see where it takes me, put myself out there and try something different. Clearly, that's what I did. And I think we need to learn how to say that we are proud of ourselves, because I am proud of myself. I'm nowhere near where I want or need to be, but what I'm not is miserable, feeling like I was in like Groundhog's Day, doing the same thing over and over and over. And I just have too much life in me to live a life like that. And if that resonates with you, I really want you to take that and take the leap. I will say, I think it was a little bit easier for me to do, given that I didn't have any stability, like I said. So I wasn't leaving some cushy job with great benefits and all of that. The only real attachments that I had to this job were that I love my coworkers, and I love my clients, but I don't actually like the job at all. And I wasn't gaining anything. And I really felt like my brain wasn't growing or learning or anything. And that's just for me specifically. There is no shade to my fellow hairdressers that love their job, but I do feel the industry is very different and it just wasn't for me anymore. Another important lesson I learned in 2023, which I feel like I was always kind of already doing because it's just my nature, is I'm not matching energy. If your vibe is in hell, then you can be there by yourself and with whoever wants to join you on the ride. I am not matching that energy. I'm not petty. I don't have the time, and I'm just not. I will match good energy, positive energy. I will pour into the cups of those who pour into mine. And I don't think that that's selfish. I think that that should be normalized. And I had a lot of not a lot. I had a few toxic friendships that were finally cut off in 2023. And it was not easy, and it was a really difficult transition for me because I've really had the same friends like my whole life. A few new ones here and there, but all my friendships are 10 years plus. And I think that that's also like a thing that I need to like break away from, because that like no new friends kind of vibe, like it's really not the vibe, because you do outgrow people, and that's totally okay, or you go in separate ways, or it's just toxic. And in the case of me, it was friendships that were toxic, that I wasn't getting treated well in those relationships, and knowing that and being like, okay, this friendship isn't for me anymore, and I'm mourning it. And can we be so fucking for real? Mourning the quote unquote death of a friendship is, I think it's harder than mourning a romantic relationship. Such a different connection that you have with your like best friends. And it was hard. It was really hard, but so necessary for my growth. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. It is really, really hard to cut people off that you love, whether they're friends or family, but you need to advocate for yourself and know that you know when it's not right, or when it's not serving you. And I think that that word serving, I don't love, because it does sound selfish, but relationships are a game of give and take, no matter what kind of relationship that you are in. There's always some sort of rhythm there that balances out. If you are in a friendship that's never balancing out, or the person is chaotic, or they are always surrounded by drama, or they're really, really unhappy, it's definitely something to evaluate, whether you can say to them, you know, what's going on, or if this is the person that's always in some shit. Because there are people that are always in some shit, and it's like they create it, they want the chaos, they make sure that it is so chaotic around them, and they thrive and live in that chaos. And there are some people that are just like that, and there's not any helping them. And I feel like you have to know when to distinguish when a friendship is worth saving or a relationship is worth saving. This honestly applies to family, friends, work, it doesn't matter. You have to recognize when to walk away, because sometimes staying is detrimental to your own mental health and your own happiness. And if someone is severely unhappy and they are never taking the steps to better their situation, whether it's therapy, changing a job, both, whatever it is, if they are just constantly in this cycle and rotation of hell, then you sometimes need to leave them there. This can kind of segue into the next lesson that I learned in 2023. Learn how to meet people where they're at. This is such an important lesson, and I swear to you, it will set you free. You can only meet people as deep as they've met themselves. That statement is one of the truest things I have ever learned. You cannot force someone to be on your level if you are leveling up. You cannot force someone to fill in the potential that you see in them. And I think that this is something women especially are really good at in romantic relationships, just always saying the person has so much potential and they can go so far if they just did XYZ. And guess what? Some people will never fill that potential because they don't want to. And you can push, and it just will never work because they aren't there and they may never get there. Someone wants to be in the girls' room. If you hear those sirens, welcome to my life. Oh, she wants to talk too. Learning to meet people where they're at is gonna be the motto or phrase that changes your life, because then your expectations also change. When you know somebody isn't on your level, you don't have expectations of them to be something that they aren't. Or maybe you do, but you're gonna have your heart broken every single time if that's the case. This way of thinking really freed me, because you can tell someone till you're blue in the face, you should start therapy, or you should break up with that asshole, or you shouldn't tolerate it. But we accept what we think we deserve. And maybe people don't agree with that, but I know that it's true. And people need to work on themselves. So yeah, I felt like that changed my relationships a lot as well. I felt like it really just allowed me to give people the space to evolve on their own without maybe so much pressure around it, because not everybody is just like, fuck them, they're not on your level, they could go fuck off. That's not the case for everyone. That's only the case for people that aren't good to you, or that mistreat you, or that have no interest in bettering themselves. But if you have a friend that's just going through it and having a hard time in their life, maybe they're not in this space to hear the advice that you're giving them, and you just need to give them the space to come around to that advice and to come around with themselves. And you can meet them where they're at in a positive way, where you just are patient and you say, okay, I'm here for you, and they will eventually come into their own. But we can't force people to do that. And I think that that is a problem. People love to push and force their thoughts, opinions, everything on other people. And sometimes you just need that space to grow. And it really helps when your friends, family, whoever, partner can recognize that and just say, okay. I myself, through this whole transformation I've been going to, I needed the space to do it on my own and learn the lessons on my own. And I have a feeling this will be the best thing that ever happened to me in a lot of ways. So I'm so excited to see what this year has in store. Other lesson that I would say I learned in the later half of the year is start therapy. I don't care how self-aware you are, because I am a self-aware queen and my therapist will tell you that. But the way that my thinking has changed and the way that I frame things or frame the reasoning as to why I might feel or act the way I do has completely changed. And it's so nice, even at a minimum, to have someone that's not biased, that's just there to hear you and listen to you at a price. But they are there, and it's like paying to have a bestie or something that truly is looking out for your best interest. But I feel like everybody could really benefit from it. My dad actually started therapy, and it's his therapist, and it's really funny. I'm like, you're gonna be like therapizing the whole family soon. But she really is awesome, and it's kind of cool that she like also does it for my dad, because she can like see the connections with me and put dots together in like a different way. But shout out to my dad for being in therapy, because that's not the norm. He's in therapy and trying to grow as a person, and that's awesome. So good job, Miles. I would love to know what you guys felt about 2023 and what lessons you learned. These were just the ones that stood out to me and were on the top of my head. I love talking about growth and all of those things and hearing people's life experiences. And it's cool to know like why people are the way that they are. And it's really cool to watch yourself evolve. So with that being said, I did find this quote. I wasn't looking for it, which is how I know it was meant for me to read here, but it came up yesterday and it was so random because it's by Anthony Hopkins, which I didn't know he was like a poet, Mr. Hannibal Lecter. So I'm going to read it to you because it will really resonate, especially with the letting go of relationships portion. Let go the people who are not prepared to love you. This is the hardest thing you will have to do in your life, and it will also be the most important thing. Stop having hard conversations with people who don't change. Stop showing up for people who have no interest in your presence. I know your instinct is to do everything to earn the appreciation of those around you, but it's a boost that steals your time, energy, mental, and physical health. When you begin to fight for a life with joy, interest, and commitment, not everybody will be ready to follow you in this place. This doesn't mean you need to change what you are. It means you need to let go of the people who aren't ready to accompany you. If you are excluded, insulted, forgotten, or ignored by the people you give your time to, you don't do yourself a favor by continuing to offer your energy and your life. The truth is that you are not for everyone, and not everyone is for you. That's what makes it so special when you meet people who reciprocate love. You will know how precious you are. The more time you spend trying to make yourself loved by someone who is unable to, the more time you waste depriving yourself of the possibility of this connection to someone else. There are billions of people on this planet, and many of them will meet you at your level of interest and commitment. The more you stay involved with people who use you as a pillow, a background option, or a therapist for emotional healing, the longer you stay away from the community you want. Maybe if you stop showing up, you won't be wanted. Maybe if you stop trying, the relationship will end. Maybe if you stop texting, your phone will stay dark for weeks. That doesn't mean you ruined the relationship. It means the only thing holding you back was the energy that you gave to keep it. That is not love, it's attachment. It's wanting to give a chance to those who don't deserve it. You deserve so much. There are people who should not be in your life. The most valuable thing you have in your life is your time and energy, and both are limited. When you give your time and energy, it will define your existence. When you realize this, you begin to understand why you are so anxious when you spend time with people, in activities, places, or situations that don't suit you and shouldn't be around you. Your energy is stolen. You will begin to realize that the most important thing you can do for yourself and for everyone around you is to protect your energy more fiercely than anything else. Make your life a safe haven in which only compatible people are allowed. You are not responsible for saving anyone. You are not responsible for convincing them to approve. It's not your work to exist for people and give your life to them. If you feel bad, if you feel compelled, you will be the root of all your problems, fearing they will not return the favors that you have granted. It's your only obligation to realize that you are the love of your destiny and accept the love that you deserve. Decide that you deserve true friendship and commitment, true and complete love with healthy and prosperous people. Then wait and see how much everything begins to change. Don't waste time with people who are not worth it. Change will give you the love, the esteem, happiness, and protection that you deserve. That was a sermon. I want to end that portion of the podcast with that and slide into something a little bit more lighthearted. I want to talk about my favorite influencers of 2023. Obviously, I can't mention them all because I'll be here for the rest of my life, but I thought this would be fun because these are influencers that had a positive impact and that I felt really inspired me in a lot of ways. Love watching them. So let's jump into that. Lebanese Angel, aka Mary Renee. Now, if you don't know Mary, you should know Mary. She is the definition of I get knocked out and I get up again. I'm not kidding. This woman got her TikTok account banned, like I want to say minimum 3 times, maybe 4. But people were real assholes and reporting her and doing all this crazy shit. After the last time before the account she has now, she was done with it. She was like, I'm good. But all of the people that love her were like, no, and like trying to get this account back. It was not working. I have followed her from her very first account when she had a super small following. We're mutuals. She's so sweet anytime that I have spoken to her. And after she lost her last account with a substantial amount of followers, she said she was done. She wound up coming back by popular demand. And in 5 months, she got her account back to 100,000 followers, which maybe it's more now, because she had a goal to end the new year with 100K followers, and she did it. And it was really cool to watch her scale like that. And I'll tell you exactly why she's able to do that. She's gorgeous. She's got this beautiful long hair, amazing skin, and is unapologetically herself. Mary gives no fucks. And that's what I'm drawn to. And that's what I love about her. If she's not your cup of tea, she doesn't care. She's someone else's cup of whiskey. Like, that's her vibe. And I love that. She's true to herself, and she provides so much value. Everything with her is a numbers game. She tracks analytics. She's so smart about the way she attacks her social media. Organized, queen, just very good, big Capricorn energy. So you know she's going to get to the bag. And she is just genius about the way she goes about it. She gives so much value in her content, which is why people love her. Whether it's skincare, her skin is insane. Her Amazon finds were always bomb, but this girl is committed. Like, she creates so much content, works a full-time job that she's very successful in. I don't know where she has the time in the day. I really don't. It's insane the amount of videos she puts out in a day. And I know she batch films on Saturdays and Sundays. That's how committed she is. So I love to watch that. Her work ethic is next level in her regular job and with her content creation. She's got big goals. She's gone from Amazon influencing to basically a full-time influencer while also having a full-time job, and now taking the earnings and putting that into buying properties and building a future for herself. It's refreshing to watch this like goal-getter mindset. She's doing it all, and the attention to detail is just insane. She can tell you everything from skincare, hair care, aftercare for a rhinoplasty, how to buy a property, how to build your future business, how to create content. Here's the schedule. It's just from A to Z. She's got you covered. So if you don't follow her, you should. Another one, if you don't know, you should. Her TikTok name is Justine's Camera Roll. I love this girl. I've been following her from when she had just kind of started, and she created this series, I Want to Be an Influencer, and it blew the fuck up. And in 5 months, she also did 100K followers and is now monetizing her social media while also working in tech. She's young. She just moved to LA. But one thing I do love about her is that she shows the good and the ugly. She moved to LA. She like hated her apartment. It was a fucking disaster. She had a troll for a neighbor. Like, so many things went wrong, and she shared all of that. So I really can't wait to see what the future holds for her. She's beautiful, she's smart, and she's also attacked this in such a smart, analytical way. And I think it's super inspiring for up-and-coming creators. 2024 is going to be bringing in a lot of long-form content, and she will slay that too. Justine is super relatable. She's showing you the messy parts and the fun parts. It's not just a highlight reel. And we love to see that. She keeps it real. And if you're not following her, you definitely should be. Next is Tatiana Lafata. I hope I'm saying that right. My Brazilian queen. She is another creator. These are all creators that I've kind of followed from when they had a smaller like platform and have watched them grow, which is I think why they stand out so much to me, because it's been really cool to watch the journey. Tatiana Lafata is like a beauty guru. Her skincare and hair care tips are top tier. She's gorgeous. She has the most amazing head of hair on earth. It was really cool to watch her journey because she actually worked, I think, in some sort of sales, and transitioned into being a full-time influencer. And that was really cool to watch because that was her goal, and it was cool to see her execute it. And now she's doing really cool brand deals. One thing I love about her is she's very real and does touch on toxic relationships and things like that, and gives advice while also giving a look at all the beauty treatments she does. It's just like nice to watch. Her confidence really shines through in her content, and I love that. All three of these women are so confident, and I love watching a confident woman grab life by the balls and make their money work for them. And it's just inspiring to me. I love all three of them. Do some honorable mentions. These are just people that I just love. Karen Delaney, she was Miss New York, and she blew up on TikTok. She's hilarious. I could watch her for literally hours and just binge her content. She's gorgeous. She's so funny. She has this amazing giant Great Dane living with her in New York City, which I also love. And if you haven't watched her, she's amazing. But not only is she funny, she uses her humor to heal people. She has this series that she does on TikTok called Denise, Heaven's Receptionist. And it is so healing in this weird way. People will send in their stories of loved ones lost. The ones that involve children always really send me over the top and make me cry. But she's so funny and careful in the way that she does it. And you can just like read the comments. It's just insane how she can heal people through this comedy. And then outside of that, she's just so fucking funny. I can't even, I would die if she came on my podcast. I wouldn't even talk. I would just let her, she could run the show. Other honorable mention is obviously Monet, Miss Monte. I don't need to say it. You all know Monet McMichael. She's fucking incredible. She's killing it. And I'm loving watching her become a dog mom of 2 Dobermans. Those are the influencers that I felt inspired by and that I just really loved watching them grow. I'm so excited for 2024 to make the right people famous and watch people, smaller creators blow up. I have to mention one more because she's actually my favorite person to watch, I think, ever, and that's Jackie Aina, the OG YouTube queen. I love all the OG YouTubers because they've been doing this. They do this. Like, they know what they're doing. Jackie Aina is just like all encompassing. Like, everything she does, I will watch. She's so multifaceted. Like, she's funny. She gives good advice. There's fashion. There's makeup. There's candles. There's aesthetics. She just does it all, and I can't get enough of her. She's incredible. So now I want to talk iconic moments of 2023, and I'm just gonna list them because I forgot about a lot of these, and it's like it's funny just to like kind of read them off and remember the year. So I'm going to start with these aren't in order, but the most recent one is the one I'm going to say first because it happened, I think, 2 days before the year ended. Gypsy Rose got out of jail. Good for her. We are really happy for Gypsy, but I'm going to need you guys to stop calling her mother. She doesn't know what that is. You guys are like, mother, yes. She doesn't know what mother is. And also, like, I think it's weird because she, like, you know, her mom. So like, I don't know. I feel like mother, it's not mothering for her. So I think we need to stop calling her that. But yes, Gypsy, go off, get your bread and live your life. Mayor Adams went to war with the rats. If you live in New York City, or even if you don't, Mayor Adams started a war on rats and hired a rat czar to, I guess, like negotiate with the rats. I wonder how that's going. I live in Brooklyn and they are still here. The smack heard around the world. We all know that's Mr. Will Smith. Lil Tay being dead and then not being dead. That was really interesting. I really didn't even know who she was, but that shit is fucked. I have nothing to say. Joe Biden's dog biting people in the White House. This is fucking hilarious to me. I love that his dog went rogue. He said, fuck you, I don't like you, and I'm gonna bite you. I think they had to send him to live with family, but I thought it was hilarious. You just like think of the White House being like prim and proper and the dog's like saluting, and then that dog was like, fuck you. The Met Gala roach. I actually don't know if that was real or not, but it was hilarious because if it was real, that roach had a mission. Gwyneth Paltrow trial, hilarious. The Johnny Depp trial, also insane. Everybody saying no instead of no. Kanye and Bianca in Venice on the boat. If you know, you know. Scandival, but it's actually AKA Ariana's comeback. My queen, can't wait for the new season of VPR to watch her continue to flourish. Barbie was iconic this year, took over everything. Everyone had a Barbie collab and I was here for it. The return of Samantha Jones on Sex and the City. It was minimal but impactful. UFOs, we were told UFOs were real and then I never heard anything about it again. I want to know more. And Mauricio separating. This actually made me really sad, but now he's being kind of cringe. And I love Kyle, so I just wanted to be happy. Versus Courtney and the Dolce Vita lifestyle, hilarious and completely unrelatable. Northwest roasting Kim's outfit on Keeping Up, or whatever it's called now. Jessel Tank making Tribeca relevant and putting it on the map. She called it up and coming. Also hilarious. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift I don't care about either of them if I'm being completely honest, but they have taken the world by storm, and obviously the Eras Tour as well as the Renaissance Tour. Iconic, both of them. So those were some 2023 iconic moments. And with that, this episode of The Girls Room is coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed episode 2. Please leave in the comments any topics you want me to discuss. Share this with your friends. I love feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what else you want me to discuss. And I hope to see more people this week for this episode, but I'll still be here next week regardless. Thanks for listening. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week. Bye.